Have you guys ever wondered what city sits at the highest elevation in the United States? Well, we did, so we consulted the internet.
According to Leadville, Colorado's website, this city sits at the highest elevation not only in the US, but in all of North America. So today, we're gonna find out what Leadville is all about.
Let's go!
Okay, so it's kind of crazy to think that we've actually been in Colorado for 3 weeks, and this is the second video we're filming, and the first video was just yesterday. But when we first got here, we went to the Overland Expo in Loveland, then we went up to Yellowstone in Wyoming for my birthday weekend, then we came back, we visited family, and now we're in Leadville. And I'm so excited that we are here in Leadville because all of my family that lives in Colorado loves visiting Leadville, and if the locals love it, it must be a really great place, right? Our first stop today is lunch at Moe's Barbecue.
So it's a really nice day, so we got to eat outside, but they also have indoor seating as well for if it gets cold. We try to eat barbecue in every part of the country that we can just to see how it differs, because we love barbecue.
It's kind of crazy, like you never hear anything about, like, I don't know, Colorado barbecue. Like we've had St. Louis and Texas and Memphis barbecue, like all the things that you hear about.
This is some of the best barbecue we've ever had.
That was so stinking good. I had ribs and potato salad. The ribs were fantastic, and the potato salad was some of the best potato salad I've ever had.
But also, I didn't even sit down before our food was ready. They were super fast.
But like TJ said, that was some of the best we've had.
So if you're in Leadville, Moe's Barbecue.
Now we're gonna go walk around downtown.
So Leadville has a pretty rich history. Going all the way back to 1860, a man by the name of Abe Lee found gold in California Gulch, just outside of Leadville. 3 months later, this place boomed in population with everyone that came here, and about $2 million in gold had been mined from the California and Iowa Gulch. A few short years later, after some people had started to move away when the supply of gold was dwindling, silver was discovered and the town's population grew yet again.
It's hard for us to go into outdoor stores and not buy stuff. We should really work on that.
We ate here after hiking last night, and here's all the reasons you should eat here. Number one, it's fantastic. It tastes amazing. Number two, they're open till 10 and most places close by 9. And also, if you have to eat gluten-free, they not only have gluten-free pizza crust, they also have gluten-free bread for the sandwiches. So, all around win. And everybody was really nice.
Over the years, some well-known and wealthy people built different entertainment and lodging venues here in Leadville. But when silver lost a lot of its value, many of those people lost their wealth as well. There's so much more that goes into the history of this city. That's just a tiny summary that breezes over a lot. But today, Leadville is still high in popularity due to its mining history as well as some of the big sporting events that are held here, such as the Leadville Race Series.
Okay, so at this place you can get ice cream or milkshakes, coffee, or you could even get tamales. And TJ got a tamale.
I love tamales.
We've had a really great afternoon walking around Leadville after lunch, and now it is already time to eat dinner, and I'm really excited about the place we're going.
We ate dinner at a local favorite called the Treeline Kitchen. The weather was fantastic, so we sat outside by the fire while we ate. The Treeline also has a rooftop patio, so there's always a great place to enjoy a meal. TJ ate the crispy chicken sandwich with a side of fall squash topped with pumpkin seeds, and I had the blackened cod with the crispy crushed potatoes. It was absolutely delicious. For dessert, we finished it off with chocolate mousse and peach blueberry crisp. Today in Leadville was a great day to be outside and relax. After dinner, we sat by the fire and enjoyed great conversation with the locals before heading back to our campsite at Twin Lakes.
So after dinner last night, we went back out to Twin Lakes and camped a little bit. And there was one more part of Leadville that we really wanted to show you guys because it's very unique. It's this trail. It's called the Mineral Belt, and it goes all the way around the city. On foot, it would take about 4.5 hours to do. It's about 12 miles. So today, I'm going to be showing you guys the Mineral Belt via one wheel. So you do have to cross the highway once, but it's the only place you have to cross. Here we go. This is a beautiful day to be doing this. I'm really excited to show you guys this. So there's a little stop sign here where it meets another road, and I'm pretty sure make a right and you go up the road a little bit. This is gonna be interesting because I've got sore legs, and one wheeling takes a lot of calf muscle. So we'll see. Yep, here it is. I'm doing the trail clockwise. So I left the parking lot and crossed the highway, and we're gonna go through Leadville first. The trail goes through the town. I do have bear spray, by the way. Hopefully I won't have to use it. Look at this view. We've got our first little sign here. I'm gonna hop off and see what it says. Numerous smelters were built in the Leadville mining district because it was unprofitable to ship ore from distant smelters. The first, constructed by the Malta Smelting and Mining Company, was built in 1874 near the mouth of the California Gulch. By 1879, 15 smelters were in operation. Many of them were within the vicinity of Stringtown. This is the site of the Stringtown smelters right here. That's cool. And away we go. The trail also goes by the school. You can kind of see it through the trees here. Their sports complex. Looks like we've got plenty of waste disposal bags for pets. So that's one thing that they thought of, that you don't have to. It's really neat. Looks like we're crossing another road here, and they do not stop for the trail people, so don't count on them stopping. Let's continue on, shall we? We've got another road crossing. One thing I've noticed in Leadville is like the roads aren't in like the best of conditions. Like the crosswalk here, look at this huge pothole. I'm gonna try my best not to fall off the one wheel today. Leadville has a really nice school though, really nice high school at least. I think it's actually a county high school. Got our first mile marker sign here. 1 mile, 11 more to go. There's also some pretty neat like offshoots of this too. Like you can see this trail up here goes through the woods. That's pretty cool. Like if you're on a mountain bike or something. Yeah, I've been passing these little signs with like cartoons or something on them. I have to stop just to see what they are. Oh, this is so cool. I think this is like art that the kids make that's featured on the trail. That is so cool. Leadville schools are freaking awesome, but they're everywhere. They're like every 25 to 30 feet. My legs are so shaky from hiking Elbert. Maybe one wheeling wasn't the best idea. I said what I said about the roads here in Leadville, but any town that gets as much snow as Leadville does, the constant plowing of snow and all of that, like I'm sure that it's really difficult to maintain the roads here. But we're going through town now. There's a lot of road crossings, and the road crossings are sketchy at best on a one wheel. Holy shoot, that was like a huge dip. All right, looks like we got a detour or something here. Okay, oh cool, here's a Leadville sign. I know where we are. Across the highway again, right there. And I think that's the last time there's a highway crossing. And so the rest of this should be pretty scenic. We're coming up through here now. There looks like a lot of new houses being built. Okay, update, just outside of the new neighborhood, the trail has kind of stopped. Okay, so I have a map and it says to continue on this way. So let's see where we end up. I've been using a couple of different apps to navigate our trails and hikes while in Colorado. I've been using All Trails and I've been using Gaia. I like them both. Here's the trail. If I didn't have those apps, I don't think I would have found the connection here. So I recommend either one of those two if you're hiking or going out for a run. Pretty handy to have. For the first like few miles going clockwise, it's all uphill. It's not like a major incline. It's pretty steady. Every now and then there's these little painted on miners on the trail. I have no idea what those are. There's a railroad track. This has been an absolutely beautiful ride so far. There's another one-wheeler. How cool is that? Like your ride? He was whipping it. Here's another mile marker, 3. There's all sorts of these little like offshoots on the trail that you can cut down, like if you were on a mountain bike or something like here, or you're hiking or something like that. And you could literally spend days out here. Okay, there's something interesting going on here. I'm gonna whip it around and figure out what we got going on here. This is a jackleg drill. Prior to the introduction of the jackleg, hand drills with single or double jacks were used to bore holes in rocks. Jacklegs greatly increased efficiency. The first jacklegs were called widowmakers. Without water to settle the dust, these drills led many a miner to an early death due to silicosis. What is that you say? Oh yeah, they also caused hearing loss. It's pretty cool though. All right, let's continue on. Along the trail, there's also these like little shelters that you can hang out in if like the weather gets bad too. Pretty neat. We got a chance to talk to some locals last night at dinner, and they said that this is the best time to be in Leadville, Colorado. All the fall foliage, just the weather is so nice. So right now it is mid-September. So if you're planning your trip to Leadville, mid-September. I just got a notification on my watch that I have 50% battery left on my one wheel. I started with 100. There's like a 18-mile range, maybe a little bit less, 15 miles, because I've used it quite a bit. I've got like 300, 400 miles on it. But I think it's just because having to lift my body up these hills. But it does have an alternator in it, so once we start going downhill, maybe it'll charge enough to get us back. Otherwise, I'm gonna be hiking like 8 miles carrying a 30-pound one wheel. That would not be fun. That was the Martin Bridge. This is so cool. I really hate that MK is missing this. So if I made it about 4 miles on 50% battery, then I could probably make it 3 or 4 more. At most, I'll be walking 4 miles, carrying a one wheel, which is not super great, but better than 8. Oh, check this out. See Leadville in the distance. I keep thinking that at any moment we're gonna start going downhill, keeping an eye on my one wheel battery. There's mile marker 5. I think it's half up, half down from what I read on All Trails. Hopefully we'll get some downhill soon. Oh yeah, now we're cruising downhill. Here it is. I wanna show you one of these shelters. Here's one right here. It's super dark in here, so I don't know if you can see anything, but it's basically just a little shelter. It's got 4 seats and plenty of space for like a bike or something. And that way we can take shelter if the weather gets bad. I'm really impressed with that. We've ridden a bunch of trails in different cities across America, but this is the first time that I've seen shelters like that along the trail. Shelters are a great thing. Just had a really good conversation with Mike, who's a local from Leadville, told us where all the cool ski places are. So I don't know, maybe when it snows, we'll have to come back, even though we're from Arkansas and we don't like snow. Man, this is a wicked downhill. Gotta love those potholes. I think the trail's over here. I'm gonna walk the one wheel up the hill to conserve battery. Whew. Got like 27% left and just under 6 miles left to go. I've got an hour to get back to the van because we have We've got a package coming in that we ordered, and the place closes at 5. Okay, here we go. Now I know why all the cyclists were huffing and puffing at the top of that hill. This is brutal. I would hate to come up this. If you're cycling this or running or doing anything other than like one-wheeling or maybe an e-bike or something like that, definitely do this trail clockwise and not counterclockwise. In case you were wondering what the oxygen situation is, like I was, this trail goes up to about 11,000 feet. It's just under a 1,000-foot climb from where Leadville sits. There's a lot of cyclists and walkers today out on the trail, but when I was talking to Mike, he said there's several times he's been out here, he's been the only one on the trail, hasn't seen another soul. If you're coming out here, it might be nice to see other people, but make arrangements with water and electricity and all that stuff in case there's no one else on the trail. All right, I gotta go investigate this little path here. It's a mountain bike trail. Pretty sure this is a cool shot of Leadville, looking down on the town. Straight through there. I'm gonna run back to my one wheel because I left it on the road. That would suck for somebody to take it. It's another shelter. Got 20% left. You guys think I can make it? In case you're not familiar with the one wheel, when it gets to 0, it just stops. And going downhill, I really don't want to go over the front of this thing, so hopefully we make it. There's just so many little offshoots. If you went down one of those, like it could be months before you were found. If something happened, not to be morbid, just trying to think rationally here. That was mile 8. I just need to make it 4 more miles. We're 3 miles to the end. I think the van is actually at mile marker 11.6. I can deal with that. 16% left, still going downhill. This is amazing. Another mountain bike trail there, or hiking trail. Who knows where that goes. Mile marker number 10. That sign back there said no hunting, but I haven't seen anything to hunt yet. It looks like Mount Elbert. I'm just guessing, who knows. That sign back there said caution, archery range boundary. Hopefully I don't get an arrow through my head coming through here. And I just got the notification that I've got less than 10% left on the one-wheel battery. Hopefully we'll see a mile marker soon to know where we're at. Here's another shelter. I think this is 5 shelters. That one looked nice. It had benches and stuff in it. I've been going about 15 miles an hour. Now that we're below 10%, I'm gonna slow that down to like 8 or 10 because I've seen videos of the one wheel when it gets down below 10%. Sometimes it'll like dip forward. I don't want that to happen. If it does, I want to be going a lot slower that I can run off of it and not face plant and roll and break something. And when I say break something, I mean like a body part. Oh, mile marker. There it is, 11. I've got like 0.6 miles to go till I get to the van, maybe a little bit more. It's not the end of the world if I have to walk the one wheel back. At this point, I just don't want to fall and break my face. Hey, there's the road. We are getting close. We're at 8%. I see the end. I see the end of the trail. We're gonna make it. We are gonna make it. I swear it just went from 8 to 5. We might not make it. Oh, but there's this really cool cabin thing up here. Is this an outhouse? Yep, with a view. Do you think one hole is for number 1 and one hole is for number 2? Or do you think you sit next to your best friend doing both? Comment below. Look at this little cabin. This awesome little cabin right here. Heck yeah. I've got 4%. You guys think I'll make it? It's like a quarter mile from the van. It is 3:45. We made it. I think I just scared Mary Catherine. Did I scare you?
Yes, why did you do that?
I'm sorry, I didn't think about it scaring you. Look at how much battery I have left on my one wheel.
3%.
Yeah, I barely made it.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna have to walk like 3 miles with this 30-pound one wheel back to the van. Good job. That was so fun. If you guys are ever in Leadville, even if you're just passing through Leadville, you gotta hit up that trail. There's so much more to that trail than what I got to show you, just because I was so scared that I was gonna have to hike 8 miles with my one wheel back to the van. So even if we're back in Leadville or passing through Leadville, we're definitely gonna bike this thing for sure and take our time doing it. Hope you guys enjoy the ride.